What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Transformers video review. Today, we're going to be taking a look at Transformers Studio Series Bumblebee movie Shockwave. I was going to try to say the number which accompanies each Studio Series figure, but I don't remember that. So, here is Bumblebee movie Shockwave in his tank mode, which is, I gotta say, very nice looking. It's pretty long, pretty big as well. Like, it's big. Actually has some wheels on the bottom too, which is very nice. Rolls all right. Doesn't roll great, but it does. And then some articulation. He can move his turret up like that and around, so that's pretty nice. But yeah, this tank mode's really cool. Very Transformers Prime reminiscent. If you remember that, Transformers Prime Shockwave had a tank mode just like this. And I think that's where they got a lot of the inspiration for this design from. There's also in robot mode. I don't know. There's something about it. But yeah, the tank mode looks really nice. I love the purple. The grays are really, really cool as well. You can see the chest window up at the front. The cannon looks really nice as well. And there's the some kind of, I guess, thrusters maybe in the back. Yeah, you can kind of tell it's basically just a robot almost, because it obviously his feet and then there's the arms back there. But you know, it still looks like a tank. It's still like a cannon. It can still shoot, of course. I mean, not really, but definitely works as a tank. And something that I just kind of wanted to note: this kind of looks like a neutron assault rifle from Transformers Fall of and pretty sure War for Cybertron. So it's definitely not, obviously, a giant cannon, but it's just kind of, I think the design looks a little bit similar. So a little bit off topic, but just thought I should, say that, see if anyone else agrees. But yeah, so for transformation, because I think that it's enough to talk about the tank. Looks nice, got some treads under there, detailing's great, some battle damage around. Yeah, looks good. So for transformation, first you're just going to want to take the cannon and put it off to the side. It is attached to the hose, so you just kind of let it flop around. Then you're going to want to unpeg the legs like that, and then fold up this back part at the back, obviously. I can try to get up in there and you can see a little better. There's like a little hinge like at the back, and then it basically just folds back and taps together. I'm gonna move the camera a little bit. Flip up his head. And then you're gonna want to come down to the legs. Actually, first you're gonna want to flip up the chest. And then flip out this little stomach piece and fold that up. Tap together. Fold down the legs because they fold up like that. Then you're just gonna straighten them, then bring them down. Flip out the feet. Come back. And then you can just flip that tread piece down. You don't have to, but that's part of the instructions and part of the transformation, so I do it anyway. And then basically just make sure the legs are in a standing position. Then come up here, untab the arms from the chest, bring them down, untab them. Let's get tabbed in up here, like that, and then fold around that arm. And then for this one, flip out that piece, and then flip up the hand, then bring it down, and then swivel it so it's facing upright. And then don't do that on this arm. You can, but don't, because then the cannon comes in. Flip up the peg, and then fold up the assembly like that. And then you can see right here there is a tab, and then a tab hole. Not that one. That's a swivel joint. With that tab that tab hole right there, it goes into this tab, and like that. And there we have pretty simple transformation, honestly. Shockwave in his robot mode, which, wow, I just gotta say, wow. I love this design. I love Shockwave in general, but this design just works so well. The giant cannon looks great. I love when Shockwave designs have just huge arm cannons instead of just like little laser cannon things on their hands. Like, that's really awesome. Like, that is super cool. The design looks amazing. The coloring, it's a little bit lighter on camera, I'm noticing, but it's actually quite a dark purple in person. It's still kind of a little bit light, but it's not, it's kind of like bluish on the camera. Maybe it's going to appear different in the finished product, but it's a kind of a different shade of purple in real life. And then the gunmetal gray just looks great. Just the full design, really. Like, the head looks amazing. Kind of looks angry, like that little piece looks like an angry eye, or an angry eyebrow. I'm gonna get in closer to see that. Like, it's just really good looking. And then throughout the figure as well, you can see there's battle damage. There's like silver paint scuffing, which is quite interesting because I thought they would have left that in Siege since not a lot of people liked it, but I don't mind it. I'm happy to see it back. You can see there's some more on the legs, and actually that's about it, just like on the thighs and throughout the chest. But yeah, that's quite interesting to me. Then for articulation, which is a very controversial point of this figure, and I'm going to talk about that in just a few seconds. First of all, he has a ball joint at the neck, so you can spin it all the way around, but it's also, because of the way his head is designed, it doesn't really do much other than that. So you can kind of look down and a little bit just up, like just straight, but nothing too crazy. And then a shoulder rotation, a ratchet at the shoulder, so you can go that far out and that far in. It's not an annoying ratchet either, because like it looks good like that, and then you can just, it's not really super far out or just right next to the body like some figures are, so that's a good one. And then there's a, this is the weird part of this figure that people don't like. He has, I don't know what it is, an elbow rotation. He has an elbow, obviously. You can go back that far and forward that far, so that's nice. Then he has this elbow rotation right here. That's obviously for the transformation, but also can be used for robot mode to move his arm about. But that's it. That's all there is at the arm, other than the ball joint at the hand, which isn't even on this arm. And so the problem that people have with this figure, I'll get to the bottom in a second, but the problem people have with this figure is there's no bicep rotation, which, if you don't know what that is, this is a spoiler for comparisons later, but it's that right there. There's a little swivel under the shoulder joint, usually, and above the elbow, that basically lets it move like that, and so you can have that pose, or like a saluting pose, or whatever. He doesn't have that, which a lot of people don't like, but I thought I was gonna hate that a lot more than I don't. Like, it's still a really good figure in my opinion. I really enjoy this figure. It's big, it's beefy, it's solid. You can get enough poses out of it, and let's get into the rest of the transformation. I'll continue talking about our articulation, then I'll continue talking about this. He has a waist rotation, and it can go all the way around, which is nice. He has a up that far and back that far at the leg, and then you can go out that far as well. Thigh rotation, and then there's this joint, which is just for transformation, but you can do it if you want. Maybe look like his leg's broken. Then he has two rotations here. He has one up there and then one at the knee. So I guess they took that joint and put it down here or something. I don't really know. Then he has a 90-degree bend at the knee. So that's nice. It kind of clicks in, but it's not really that bad. And then he has a point for transformation, obviously, and then a little bit of an ankle pivot. So back to this part, he's not that bad, really. Like, he's kind of expensive because that's just how figures are nowadays, but like, the bicep swivel, or lack thereof, does not bother me at all. It bothers a lot of people, but like, I don't think it really matters that much on this figure, at least. On other figures, I'd be like, yeah, that's pretty bad, but like, he has enough posability to get him in like a shooting pose or like an aggressive pose. So like, I don't know, like, there's just, it doesn't really matter that much. So I thought I was going to be really just turned off of this figure because of that specifically, but it really doesn't not matter. So a lot of people, per usual, in the Transformers fandom are just complaining and hating for no reason, really. It's just a lot of just yapping, really. So, other than that, it's a great figure. For some comparisons, like earlier I was saying, we have Siege Shockwave right here. And so you can tell that he's just huge. He's a Voyager class figure, by the way, which is about this size. And he's just massive. Like, I don't know what is up with that, but like I like that a lot, actually. I'm gonna keep Soundwave to the side here. But like you can tell, like this was also a leader class figure, which is the size up. But he's only leader class because of the junk he comes with, which is just kind of annoying. But like that's crazy. So I'll take him out of the frame and then bring in the leader class Megatron from the Bumblebee movie, which wasn't actually in the Bumblebee movie. It's the concept one. And like they're almost the same height. Like he's taller, but like he comes to like right there. Like their heads are basically at the same height almost. It's like, it's crazy. So I love a big beefy Shockwave. That's really cool. Like I'm glad he's not just like a smaller Shockwave. Like that's one of the reasons Prime Shockwave is probably my favorite incarnation. Prime actually just has a lot of my favorite incarnations of characters, but Prime Shockwave is just a beast. Like he's a good fighter, great scientist, very logical, and just big, and he's just great. So I'm glad that they brought that back for this figure and this like design. Like it looks great. And so that's really about it. I love this figure, despite its one issue. Like that's not even that big of an issue, really. So I definitely do suggest it. Even for the retail price, really, it's just a big figure. It just has like a heft to it. It's just nice. So usually I'd be like, oh, go for the cheaper version, which you always should. You should always look for your options, obviously. But even at retail, like this is just a good figure, like just straight up. And then he of course has the hose, which is nice. So it's just there, but it's a great figure. I love this figure. So maybe that's just Shockwave bias. I love Shockwave as a character, and just his toys are always usually good. So, but yeah, that's really about it. So thank you for watching. Thanks for watching me gush over this figure for a few minutes. And yeah, like, comment, subscribe, and I will be seeing you in the next video.